The building of Britain's railway network transformed the appearance of the nation's countryside forever. Deep cuttings and tunnels were excavated, huge warehouses and bridges were built, and vast quantities of soil and rock were dug out by hand to create railway lines which are still in use today. It's difficult to imagine the lives of the thousands of men that were employed on this task. They were a wild and rowdy bunch who could be expected to eat as much as 3 pounds of beef a day and regularly consumed vast quantities of beer. It wasn't uncommon for navvies to drink 10 pints while at work, the beer often being provided on site to prevent them slipping off to the pub during the day. Navvies lived in turf huts and laboured with little more than picks, shovels and wheelbarrows to excavate the giant works required for the railways. At Tring Cutting, huge barrows of earth were hauled up the side of the precipitous slope by horses with navvies behind to guide them. If the horse stumbled or the rope snapped, the man guiding the barrow had to hurl himself out of the way or risk being crushed to death. There was no such thing as health and safety legislation in those days, and the navvies absolutely refused to accept any measures that would reduce their pay, even if it improved their safety. Some experts have estimated that blasting out sandstone with gunpowder put a navvy at greater risk of being killed than a British soldier at Waterloo. In return for 2 shillings and 6pence a day, navvies were expected to work on the most dangerous engineering projects in Britain. Injuries were regarded by both the navvies and their employers as a natural part of the job. When one of the nation's leading engineers, Isambard Kingdom Brunel, was told that 151 of his navvies had been taken to Bath Hospital between September 1839 and June 1841, he regarded it as far from unusual. Brunel added that there were almost certainly more casualties that did not appear on the list. One of the most infamous projects undertaken by the navvies was the construction of Kilsby Tunnel in Northamptonshire. Here, long stints underground in dark and dangerous conditions were a matter of course for man and beast alike. When quicksand hampered the excavation of the tunnel, no fewer than 13 Cornish pumping engines were brought in to pump the hill dry before construction could be completed. Work on such a scale had never been undertaken before, and on pay nights, chaos ruled as orgies of drinking and violent behaviour put the local forces of law and order to flight. But despite their hell-raising tendencies, the speed and quality of work that the navvies achieved was astonishing.